In case you haven't heard yet, there is a brand new bill that was just passed in the House with a surprisingly large amount of support behind it from both conservatives and liberals. And this bill essentially removes the right for everyone to speak freely however they please. Now, it focuses itself on quote-unquote anti-Semitism. And anti-Semitism has been loosely defined in this package as anything that happens to offend a Jewish person. Not actually wishing the disparagement or wishing the harm or wishing the decreased living of Israelites or Jewish people, but just if it happens to go against what Jewish people want people to say, or if it offends a person who's Jewish, or if it offends people who support Israel. That's basically what this bill supports, and it is one of the most disgusting affronts to the First Amendment. It comes from the AIPAC. With strong bipartisan support, the House just passed the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, a key step in the effort to fight anti-Semitism and anti-Israel hatred on college campuses. Now, this does, by the framing of the language in that post on this Twitter feed, it does certainly sound as though it is an attempt to stop people from talking about Israel in a disparaging way, or anything Israeli or Jewish in a disparaging way on college campuses. But this is one step closer to completely removing the First Amendment and people's right to speak freely, regardless of the harm that it may cause a person emotionally, regardless of the emotional sadness that might come from someone saying something that might be a little bit nasty to them. And there's no other protection against anybody of any other ethnicity or religious background as much as there is for the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. So let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? This right here. These are a couple of the rules that have been put in place according to this bill. Calling for, aiding, or justifying the killing or harming of Jews in the name of radical ideology or an extremist view of religion. For the record, let me just say this. The First Amendment already bans that. That is already an illegal thing to do. Calling for the death of individuals. Not saying, oh, I think it'd be great if you died, but calling for people to kill other people. That is already illegal under the First Amendment. And that is something that people have known for years. For years. So, what are they adding to the First Amendment then? What are they saying? Okay, let's get into some of these other ones. It is now illegal to make mendacious, dehumanizing, demonizing, or stereotypical allegations about Jews as such, or the power of Jews as collectives, such as, especially but not exclusively, the myth about a world Jewish conspiracy, or of Jews controlling the media, economy, government, or other social institutions. For the record, I don't believe the Jewish people run the world. I don't believe the Jewish people are the root of all evil. The Jewish people are the ones that are bringing upon the Antichrist. I don't believe that, okay? I believe that the world is fallen. I believe the world sucks. And I can't wait for the new heaven and the new earth as a Christian, all right? But I don't believe that the Israelite people or the Jewish people are the ones controlling everything behind the scenes like a crazy mannequin controller or whatever they want to call them, right? But to those people who do have those conspiracies, passing a law that disallows someone from disparaging someone based off of the ethnicity and based off of the Jewish people is not going to help your case. Saying, oh, you talk bad about Jews? Well, guess what? You're not allowed to anymore. That's not going to help your case. That's not. In the eyes of those people who have the conspiracy, the Jewish people are the root of all evil, you're only making them more susceptible to thinking that Jewish people are the root of all evil. That's all you're doing. You're not helping your case. You're not making things better. You're actually making things far worse. You're going to make people hate these individuals a lot more than they already do. And I think it's wrong for that to be done. I don't want anyone to be hated because they're Jewish or because they're Asian or because they're black. That's stupid. No one should be hated because they happen to have an ethnicity or a skin color that happens to be associated with hating that person. That's stupid. I will forever despise that ideology. But you're not helping your case any by stating that you're no longer allowed to do that because it's offensive. Because now you're making those people think that head of that conspiracy is that the Jews are in control. Moving on. It is now illegal to accuse Jews as a people of being responsible for real or imagined wrongdoing committed by a single Jewish person or group, or even for acts committed by non-Jews. Denying the fact, scope, mechanisms, or intentionality of the genocide of the Jewish people at the hands of the National Socialist Germany and its supporters and accomplices during World War II. So yes, there are Holocaust deniers. Like I said, conspiracy theorists exist everywhere. Some people will believe the earth is flat still. All right? The Holocaust happened. It was a horrible, horrible tragedy. However, under the First Amendment, you do not have the right to take away the ability for someone to claim that the Holocaust never happened. As ridiculous and stupid as that is, you do not have the right to take away someone's ability to speak about how they don't think the Holocaust happened. You are also not allowed to accuse the Jews as a people or Israel as a state of inventing or exaggerating the Holocaust. You are not allowed to accuse Jewish citizens of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jews worldwide than to interests of their own nations. So what if they are? What if they are? That's the question that immediately comes to mind. What if Jewish people are more aligned with the nation of Israel than the nation of America, or than the nation of Cuba, or than the nation of China, or than the nation of so on and so on and so on and so on? What if they are? Is it now wrong? Is that an accusation, or is that just pointing out something truthful? I, as an American citizen, am devoted to my country. As an American citizen, I would fight and die for my country. I will do that, if it ever was called upon me to do so. That does not mean that it is an accusation if I were to go and live in China for a couple of years, or Russia for a couple of years, and if I got citizenship there, that I would somehow be accused of having more loyalty to America than to Russia, or to China, or to any other foreign nation, because my allegiance does come from the nation that I put first, and that is America. If the nation that Jewish people put first is Israel, then that's the nation they put first. It's not an accusation if it's true. If it's true, it's just a statement of truth. Denying the Jewish people their right to self-determination by claiming that the existence of a state of Israel is a racist endeavor. That mostly comes from pro-Hamas rallies. Are you going to finally do something about the pro-Hamas idiots that are... Never mind. That's a video for another day. Applying double standards by requiring of it a behavior not expected or demanded of any other democratic nation. So, if you apply a standard to Israel that you believe is right, and that standard is not upheld by another democratic nation, that is somehow now an illegal thing to do, even if it is accurate. Here's the one that gets me pretty ticked off. Using the symbols and images associated with classic anti-Semitism, claims of Jews killing Jesus, or blood libel to characterize Israel or Israelis. So you're saying that if I had a crucifix and I was talking to a Jewish person, and I had that crucifix hanging on my neck because I'm a Catholic or I'm a Christian, that would somehow be an illegal thing for me to do. I can no longer wear religious iconography, which is against the First Amendment. It's a horrible, evil thing. To deny someone the right to say what they wish to say, so long as it is not causing direct physical harm to others, is illegal under the First Amendment. This law would ban the right for Christians and for Catholics and for pretty much any other religion that was spawned from the death of Jesus Christ from saying or having an image of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It would ban scripture reading that talks about the death of Jesus Christ. It would ban preaching the word of God which has in there the death of Jesus Christ, because of the fact that it was the Jewish people who were responsible for leading Jesus Christ to his death with the help of the Romans. With the help of Pontius Pilate and the governing bodies. This is by far one of the most egregious, disgusting affronts to the First Amendment. We also have it's illegal to draw comparisons of contemporary Israeli policy to that of the Nazis. Again, I ask, what if it's actually a policy that the Nazis held? What if it's a policy that the Nazis actually advocated for? What if it's a policy that Nazi Germany actually introduced into its legislation in order to do evil things that are being done to people in Israel? Not saying that Israel has done those things, but what if that is the case? What if? And then the last one is that it's illegal now to hold Jews collectively responsible for actions of the State of Israel. I don't think I have to read much more than that. I took these couple screenshots so that I could show you guys some of the rules and some of the laws that are in this ban. Is Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which is literally just an anti-free speech act. It's literally just, oh, you like free speech? Well, guess what? If you criticize anybody who happens to call themselves a Jew, you are no longer allowed to criticize that person, and it could be considered a criminal act. If you preach the Bible and you preach about the death of Jesus Christ and mention the fact that Jesus Christ was a Jewish man killed because of Jewish people, because of the nation of Israel, under the help of Pontius Pilate and other governing authorities at that point in time, it is now illegal for you to do that. It can be judged as a criminal action for you to do that, for you to make that statement, which is 100% accurate according to the Christian text. And has been historically proven time and time again. Jesus Christ lived, died, and was crucified. It's also, most people don't want to hear this, it's also historically proven that Jesus Christ was raised again. But people don't really want to talk about that. People do not like Christianity that much. People do not like the criticizing of Jewish people that much. Like, there was no bill put forth during the Black Lives Matter movement that said you could not disparage black people or this or that. There was no bill put forth during Stop Asian Hate that said, yeah, you can't say anything mean about Asians anymore. There was no bill put forth during any other movement of an ethnic minority in America to the degree that we have with this one. This is a stark contrast. This is honestly one of the most frightening things that I've ever seen. Now, it only passed the House, which means I think it still has to go through a couple other rings of the government before it can actually get through everything. But the fact that it passed anything at all, with the amount of censorship that this would require, and the amount of disgusting twisting of the First Amendment, and complete denial and complete rejection of the First Amendment, is insane. It is absolutely insane. And to think that there are people out there, Republicans and Democrats, that voted for this at all is crazy. So to the 91 people who downvoted this, who said that this is not something that they're going to support, who said that this is a clear violation of the First Amendment, I am grateful for you. Regardless of your political leanings, whether you're Democrat or Republican, or somewhere in the middle, I am very grateful for the fact that you stood up for what was right and what was true according to the First Amendment and according to the laws put forth at the highest level of authority in this country, the Constitution.